one of the things that we've been seeing is a shortage of talent to help companies get there, help companies make that transition. Oftentimes there is one or two people on the team that may have some cloud expertise. You might get lucky and hire one, or somebody decides to go out and learn it on their own. But what typically happens is the smart cloud person on the team either gets poached to another company, or a startup comes along and gets them excited about what they could go do. And now you've gone from, having made progress toward moving to the cloud. All of a sudden you're stuck back in first gear again. You've lost your momentum. You've lost your movement. And that motion is something that every company, is really feeling the pressure to go. But now it's like the pain that goes with that pressure is, where do I get the talent? How do I find the expertise? How do I tap into the brain power needed to get me there?
Well, there's a growth in ideas and execution that people can find, a new way to solve an old problem much easier today. I mean, in more traditional skill sets, someone finds a new way to do carpentry, it's going to kind of stay hidden, and people are going to have to go and train under that person who's developed a new approach. But now you can, stumble across something on a blog that someone's developing this new thing, or there's this new project that's solving a problem, and all of a sudden everybody wants to get on board, but getting that expertise up and running is not as easy to do.
Yeah, and I think the choices in cloud technologies have just outstripped the expertise to make them work. You now have a world where there are number of cloud providers that are offering similar services, yet they're not exactly the same. So your expertise may not apply from one to the other perfectly. You've also got a proliferation of different data technologies, data stores, data management platforms, analytics platforms. It's no longer, just a world of Microsoft SQL or MySQL or, one or two relational databases. Now you've got these vast array of data stores that most companies are using multiple of. It's no longer a choice of just picking one and going all in with it. You got to pick multiple databases across those multiple clouds, and it just becomes a matrix of complexity that's very difficult to manage with one person or a small team. And that shortage of IT talent is showing up. Companies are feeling that pressure. Bigger companies are having to go out and spend more money on those people. Smaller companies are having to battle one another to find those folks and hold on to them. Some companies, Rackspace, Intel, another company that we work with, they're starting to try to grow that talent instead of going out and trying to look for it or uncover it or outbid somebody for it. It's now, let's go grow it. I mean, Rackspace has done a lot of work over the last few years on teaching the up and coming rackers, if you will, how to do cloud, how to be cloud engineers.
Yeah, the Open Cloud Academy is something that I think the city of San Antonio and Rackspace should be very proud of, and we've got several people that we work with right now that have graduated from that institution.
Absolutely,
and
very
they're,
powerful.
They're amazing rackers and great technologists, and it's a wonderful opportunity to, like you said, grow that talent locally. And
another thing we did, I mentioned Intel. We collaborated with Intel last year to launch the OpenStack Innovation Center. I'm too many opens.
Yeah, exactly.
OpenStack Innovation Center was launched as a way to grow OpenStack talent.
Yeah.
Basically, get developers on board onto the project quicker, on board the engineering talent you're going to need to successfully deploy and manage that over time, and really just accelerate the creation of a better community, a stronger community around OpenStack. So that's another example. There are probably a dozen more that we can find out there in the market, but companies are starting to embrace the fact that this is where things are going. Let's get with it. Let's go grow that talent. Let's go build. I've heard a number of universities now starting to build up cloud programs where they used to just be computer science. Now it's kind of cloud science, if you will. I don't know if they're calling it that, but it really is the idea that we're shifting to that world, right?
Especially in an educational setting where you have, roughly 9 months out of the year, you're going to have students there. You don't want to have the overhead of having your equipment on site, or just everything spun up the whole time.
Well, I think San Antonio, beyond just the Open Cloud Academy, I mean, I'm seeing billboards for CodeUp that are everywhere, and all sorts of other online properties that are out there with a real incentive to educate people on development and new technologies. And I don't know if San Antonio is necessarily the leader, but in traveling to San Francisco, New York, and spending time in Austin and Houston, I really don't see that same attempt to grow as much as attract people who already have that talent. And so it's an exciting place to be with a burgeoning startup community.
Absolutely.
And a lot of that.
We'll give a little plug for our local university, University of Texas in San Antonio, UTSA we call it.
Mm-hmm.
UTSA actually launched something last year called the Open Cloud Institute, which is really a center of excellence around cloud technology and cloud research and utilizing cloud technologies in a variety of settings within the university. It's kind of a focal point for also attracting new faculty to the university to make sure that they've got the best and brightest, and then that brings in better quality of students as well in terms of people that want to learn and research on those technologies. So it's pretty exciting when you start to see that momentum build around where we're going to build that next wave of expertise and talent.
Yeah, absolutely. And UTSA is already also nationally recognized for their cybersecurity efforts.
Top in the nation, amazingly.
Yeah, absolutely.
Really, really cool.
Yeah, so there's a lot of a groundswell there, and I know we've tapped that for building up our own managed security offerings. So
absolutely.
Very
well,
excited
that dovetails into our next prediction nicely. So